I'd say take a deep breath first, and then think about, where you're at in terms of your journey, what you think you know, what you think you need to know. Be real about it. It is happening to you, and you need to acknowledge that. I'm fairly fatalistic about those sorts of things, and I just knew I had to get on and pick myself up and get on with it after the initial shock, because there are other people around me that relied on me to be strong and committed and positive and trying to just get on with life, and that's basically what I did. When your body's telling you that you're tired and you need to sleep, because you try to work your way through it, it just catches up on you. And I think just keeping hydrated and the simple things that they teach you in terms of mouth care and all those sort of hygiene things. If you follow sort of good, sensible protocols, then you'll be able to get through it. It might be a bit tough, at times, but there is a way out if you just keep persevering.
I think it would have been nice, I guess, if somebody said, this is the beginning of your journey. Hang in there, be confident with your specialists and your medical team.
Ask lots of questions. Cherish her every day, keep talking to her, love her, implicitly. Don't try to second guess what she's thinking, because you're probably wrong, like you have been the rest of your marriage. But just listen and share and talk and communicate. It's a basic principle. It sounds easy, but it ain't. And I think the more that you can sort of sit back and try to engage and ask people how they're feeling and is that okay, and not take everything over from them and let them be involved and make decisions and talk about all of those things is just so important, because for me, being a bit of a control freak, it's easy to sort of do that, and I don't think anybody benefits from that. For men, I think they need to understand that they're human being as well, and sometimes men put up this brave macho facade and they don't let the emotions get into it too much. It's not a macho thing. It's about getting the support that you need, the emotional intelligence and the personal intelligence and all those pieces that sort of build you as a person. Then I think if you can get those things out and recognise them and use them to your benefit and the benefit of others around you, then I think the whole journey is just going to be a much better experience. Originally I said, no, I don't need counselling, I've got all this stuff together. But as soon as she started talking to us, it just came home straight away, and for the partner as well. It's no good me being selfish and say I'm under control and got this, but there's a whole family and friends and support network around who sort of need that as well, and sometimes you forget about that. So it really brings it home, just how important it is to communicate all your hopes and fears and worries and concerns, and have somebody to be able to sort of feed that back to you.
Rob's had oncologists which are really great and very open, and so that's been terrific. Not pussyfooting around the real issues.
Just tell it as it is.
And that's what Rob likes. He likes the honesty.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the other alternative is a bit of a fiction, and I prefer to know up front and say, when the oncologist gave us the last sort of diagnosis that was pretty bad, he just said, you need to sort of think about this. I can do so much, but I'll tell you when we're out of options in terms of treatments, and you need to listen to me. Yeah, so it's just, I think, just a matter of being there to support people, on the journey, and being honest and open and transparent and telling it as it is, and help to pick up the pieces particularly around the family. That's the thing that, not so much about me, but it's about Annie and the family who I just want them to be there for her and support her through it. So I think I've learnt through this experience to be pretty resilient. I think I realised the things that I value and the things that I don't, and the things that sort of used to weigh me down, then I let go, because they're just a weight around my neck. And the things that I love and the things that I embrace, then I really, support. And I've learnt to be, I think, fairly selfless. And I think that that is important, you know, because it's not what you come into this world with, it's not what you go out with, it's how you sort of leave the place in a bit of a better space. And that's, I guess, my mantra a little bit. And even my gorgeous wife says that I'm fairly selfless, so that must be right, because she's a tough critic.
I think we're blessed with a great group of friends.
Yeah, and a good community and support network. It's just, all of that makes it so much easier. I'd hate to be going through this alone, or for Annie to go through it alone, and that would be really quite challenging, I think. And the shared experiences and the opportunities to go and talk to people and have a nice meal together and just basically cut through the crap and just get on with the real stuff, you know. And I think it's a matter of being aware, isn't it? Like, it's where they're up to in terms of their thinking and what their needs are. So if you're a fairly aware sort of person, then you'll pick up on the cues and, you know, the like. So when you see them, just be aware of them and see what you can do to respond, because they're telling you something for a reason, you know. So